Hey, welcome you guys. I'm so excited to be here with my girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Veronique and Cathy, our other detox specialists, as you know, at Partners in Healing. So this video, we want to talk about, actually this is a topic that comes up a ton with most of our detoxers, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that topic is cravings and hunger and how to be prepared in terms of your food while you're detoxing. That's something that comes up constantly. So we really wanted to get into that and talk about that with you guys today. So cravings. There's several reasons why we have cravings, why they come different times of the day, different times of the night sometimes.
Sometimes all day long for some people.
Yeah, right? Someone will say to us,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm constantly hungry,
Yes.
I'm constantly eating.
It's an obsession.
It is an obsession.
What am I going to eat?
It's kind of an obsession with us too, though, yeah?
It is.
So we wanted to address some of the reasons for cravings, and Cathy brought up one really important one before we started the video. So I was wondering if you can talk a little bit about
Parasites?
parasites.
Okay. Parasites are a real thing and we all have them. And what happens when we start our detox journey, we're now eating all alkaline rich foods, which is amazing. So the body is now starting to cleanse and get rid of toxins and leaving the parasites very hungry because we're no longer feeding them. We're no longer eating the processed foods or breads or...
Dead animal?
Yeah.
They love dead animal.
So sometimes people have extreme cravings, which is a combination of everything, but the parasites definitely contribute to that.
Yeah. And that's why we put you guys, a lot of you guys from the very beginning on parasite formulas.
Mm-hmm.
Some people we wait a little bit because we've got some other things that are going on that we want to address. But those parasite formulas are for a reason, and they are to get rid of those bugs that affect your body in so many ways, but cravings are a big part of it.
They're very helpful.
Yeah. How about cheese? I mean, you being French,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things about fromage that they love, right? The
They
parasites
do,
just...
yeah, bread, butter, cheese, definitely, yes.
So we're taking those things out of the diet,
Yeah.
and they are screaming at you, those little bugs.
They want to be fed, and also the fungus we have. Because even when we work through the parasite formulas and we eliminate and many of them die off, now we're dealing with their eggs.
Right.
So it's important to stick with it and have follow through so they can't survive also.
Right.
If we change
It takes a while.
Yes, yeah.
And that's why you guys might see us in terms of herbs, and there's that other video about herbs, but you might see us repeat certain things, especially these parasite formulas,
Yeah.
so that we can deal with that life cycle,
Right.
right? So what other aspects cause cravings when you're detoxing?
I think the emotional aspects plays a big role in whether we are bored or we like to eat certain foods because it makes us feel better. It's more filling than having just plain fruits. So I think when we are on fruits, we are faced with our emotions more easily.
Right.
And it's very easy to slip up and go back to something a little more satisfying in our mind. It's not really in our bellies because we are not really hungry.
Yeah.
We just want something that will make us feel more balanced and more at peace.
And remember, you guys, you know, you're not lacking in anything. It's one of the things that our patients come to us and they fear.
A lot of people are concerned about them.
Yeah, that they're lacking enough calories, that they're lacking enough vitamins, that they're lacking
minerals,
proteins. You know, one of the things I was thinking about this morning, I was walking the dog, and I was thinking about people talking about hydration, right? And people ask me all the time, don't you walk with a bottle of water? You walk your dog 3 or 4 miles. Don't you take a bottle of water with you? And I say, why would I take something into my body that gives me nothing else, right? Water just gives you water. It's 0 calories, it's 0 energy,
Mm-hmm.
it's no sugar, right? It just gives you water, and not really the best form of hydration anyway. So when you're eating fruit or even your vegetables or your juices from them, you're getting a ton of nutrition and a ton of hydration. So when people say about, cravings, am I getting enough? Am I hungry because I'm not getting
Right.
enough nutrition? No, you're getting enough nutrition. It's just, as Veronique mentioned, the emotional aspect,
Mm-hmm.
the parasitic aspect.
Mhm.
How about the adrenal gland aspect?
Yes.
Right.
That feeling of that low blood sugar, I'm crashing, I'm hungry, I
Right.
need to eat more.
Yeah.
What about that, you guys? How would you address that?
Yeah, I think adrenals do play a big role. And everyone is at a different place as far as their adrenal strength. So I do think it's important to listen to your body. If you're doing like a full fruit fast and after a month or not even a month, you just don't want to do it anymore, I think that's your body telling you to listen to your adrenals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why, again, with the herbs we support, a lot of you are on an endocrine formula. Maybe if you're a hyperthyroid, we've got you on maybe a gland tonic, most likely an adrenal herbal. Sometimes we go up to an adrenal gland, right, from animal adrenal glands,
Mm-hmm.
because some people are so adrenally depleted
Yeah.
that they need that extra strength, that extra boost. But remember that your adrenal glands regulate your blood sugar, regulate your blood pressure. And when we talk about blood sugar, when that drops, you want to eat.
Yeah.
Rightly
Right.
so. But instead of just constantly thinking, I have to eat, I have to eat, I have to eat, we're working from a detox point of view and a supportive point of view to support and strengthen those adrenals. But that might be another reason why you have cravings.
Right. Yeah.
And I think earlier Cathy was talking about being bored as well.
Well, I feel like there's such an emotional attachment to food that sometimes if you're feeling the cravings, if you stop and think, am I really hungry, or is this just wanting somebody to turn to food because that's what you did in the past, even though it wasn't a healthy habit? Oftentimes people turn to food emotionally,
Right.
or not like boredom, but because like you've been eating the same food, and so you're saying that you're bored of it, so you want something else. But really, it's all just a mindset. I mean, when you really think about it, the fruit is so inviting. There's all these beautiful colors. It's living vibration. So it gives you,
Juices.
it gives you nothing but energy.
Right.
So that's why I think the emotions play such a big role.
Yeah.
And you think you're bored, but it's not quite the boredom. It's just, it's trying to fill a void. But you have to figure out what that void is, because
Right.
food, no matter what, really can't fill that void. It's just like band-aiding the symptom. And that's not what we do in detox.
That's
We
not
take
what we
that
do.
band-aid off and we
I
dig
would-
deep.
Yeah, I would add to that, like when we step out of our comfort zone with food, it's coming back to the emotions, like you were saying.
Right.
And then we are stepping off that platform, and it's kind of
It's scary.
scary.
Because
Scary,
now you have to do the hard
yeah,
work.
yeah,
Now you
yeah.
have to figure out, what is this void?
Right.
And turning to food, no matter what it is not going to fill it. And I hear it a lot from people who have been detoxing for a long time. And I recommend journaling. Like, try to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Don't give in, because it's not going to go away. It's going to come back and haunt you as you continue your journey.
Right.
And even people who are just starting in detox will say that they're bored with the food. Now, remember, you guys, we've got a book that's got
Right.
recipes.
Right.
We've got a detox forum
Read the book.
that has recipes. Someone said to me yesterday, I said, did you check out the detox forum? She said, well, there wasn't many recipes on there. So I said, okay, let's look at it. And we opened it up, and I counted 29 recipes as of yesterday. So there's plenty of recipes.
Yeah.
But we oftentimes at the beginning say we're bored because we're just used to doing what we did, and now
right.
we have to go out of our comfort zone, like you guys were saying,
Right.
to do something different.
And we have
So,
to make an effort
Yeah,
to
Yes.
do something different.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we have to look in a book, we have to gather different ingredients, we have to prepare food,
we have to shop.
we have to
We have
shop.
to change old habits.
everything.
You
Yeah,
know, to
right.
change the lifestyle, to change your health, you have to change your old habits.
Right,
And I think, like Veronique just said, preparation. It's difficult to go down the detox journey without preparing your food,
right.
without going to the market on the weekends and prepping and stocking up for the day.
I mean, in the past, meaning before you guys started to detox, what was life? How did you eat?
Mhm.
Did you grab something on the way to work in the morning? You know,
Right.
maybe a muffin, maybe crackers, maybe cereal, maybe nothing, maybe a cup of coffee.
Right.
You know, did you at work? Did you go along with what everyone else was doing for lunch? Maybe they ordered from Publix and from a local grocery store,
Or
you know,
restaurants.
or restaurant. You know,
Mhm.
did you come home at night and on the way home go through a drive-through or call something in? Or go to the local grocery store, go to the deli,
Right.
get some chicken potato salad and call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, we have stopped
Right.
making food.
Right. Right.
I think it's one of the biggest challenges to really change our habits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once you're on your goal, you feel better. So
Yeah.
you want to keep it going, but you're changing your old habits.
Right.
Your old lifestyle was unconscious, like
Right.
your
Yeah.
book says.
Yeah.
Yes.
So therefore it was easy. You just ordered in, pizza or dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was just so unhealthy for us. And
Or a can of
Preparing.
tuna in the cupboard, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, we want, and please take that out of the cupboard if you still have it in there. If you're detoxing, get rid of it. Get rid of it. So okay, let's just recap really quickly about the reasons for cravings, and then I want you guys to talk about food prep because these guys are like experts in food prep. So just to recap your cravings, why do we get them? Because of parasites, because of our addictions to food. So we were used to eating something, and so we are mentally wanting that food. A low adrenal gland function. Our emotions get us to want to eat. We're happy, we want to celebrate. We're sad, we want to eat. We're pissed off, we want to eat. Distraction, we distract ourselves from life by eating. We distract ourselves from problems, issues, whatever. We get bored. And so we want to eat, whether we're bored with the detox diet or we're just bored with life and we want to eat. And then the people around us that are not detoxing is another reason why we may have cravings, because we're smelling.
That's a big factor.
Yeah, it's like peer pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then everyone wants to know why you're not doing what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Right.
And nose pressure. I mean, come on. You smell those other things.
Yeah.
Taste buds.
But go there and take a huge whiff of it. I mean, really bring it into your nostrils, because your brain is going to say, oh, thank you, I've had that. And you won't need to actually eat it. Trust me, it sounds weird. There's a story, but I'll tell you another day. So let's talk a little bit about the aspect of hunger in terms of not preparing food. So maybe you guys tell us a little bit about what you do. What does your day or your week look like in terms of preparing food? And let's look at this from two aspects. So Cathy's a detox specialist in the office, but she's also a mom of a 7-year-old.
7, yeah.
I can't believe he's 7.
I know.
So she's also a mom, so she's got all of that going on. Veronique is a detox specialist and a massage therapist, so she's got a really busy work schedule. So she's got that aspect of prepping food and what do you do when you've got, a really hectic lifestyle on that end. So I want to hear from both of you about what your food prep looks like. So Cathy, if you want to start.
Over the weekend, I go to a farmer's market with or without the family. Somehow I get there. And I buy watermelons, I buy coconut water, fresh coconut water. I buy
We're in Florida.
I buy all the fresh organic fruit that I can get. I do it for myself, but I want to teach my son healthy habits as well as, vegetables. But I have to go to the grocery store at least or market 3 times a week just to keep up.
I do too.
So everything is fresh. If I buy a whole bunch of it, it just kind of goes bad by the end of the week. But I'm up every day at 5:30 and I'm juicing. I go through a giant watermelon right now every 2 days.
Wow.
My son loves it. I can't tell him, no, you can't have watermelon juice. I get oranges by the cases. And that's my morning. Starts off with all this juicing, preparing for my day, preparing for my son's day. My husband buys fruit and takes fruit to work with him.
Have you ever juiced like all in advance, like on a Sunday, and then freeze it?
No, I haven't.
That is definitely something that you can do.
It's doable. Yes, I definitely have everything with the jars, so there's closed. I've gotten into the habit of doing it every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's fresh for the day, which it would still be fresh.
Yeah.
But you know what? Probably the big deterrent is if I were to do that. That one day of juicing everything would be hours in the kitchen.
It would be.
It's already hours
takes time.
cleaning and cutting and juicing.
Yeah.
So.
And it really depends on your life and your schedule. I mean, and your desire to get up at 5:30.
Right.
Or to just take a couple of hours on a Saturday or Sunday or Friday night.
Right.
And prep all your stuff and put it through your juicer. Or your blender if you're doing smoothies,
Right.
and then bottle it. I prefer glass.
Me too.
If you're going to
me
do
too.
that,
Yeah.
leave some space at the top. Don't let it fill to the top because you'll
Right.
explode it. And then line them up in your freezer and have it prepped for the week. What does the rest of your prep look like? What else do you have with you throughout the day? And
I carry a cooler with dry ice, and I have my juices in there or my fruit. When I pick up my son from school, I have fruit in the car or a juice in the car, and he expects it. And if it's not there, he's like, where's my fruit? So it's a daily commitment. However, on the days if I don't do it, I regret not doing it, because not that we don't go on the dark side, but it's harder to prepare everything last minute, or if I'm prepared in advance. Same thing if we go to a kid's birthday party. I bring things for him so he has a healthier choice.
Yes.
So it's constant preparation, but then it becomes a lifestyle and a habit and second nature, where at the beginning it was hard to make that commitment. It was hard to change.
Yeah.
But then as I made the changes and saw, I feel better this way, you kind of do what you can to stick with it so you can continue to feel good.
And you figure out little tricks too. Like I can make a smoothie now in no time flat because I can cut the skin off an orange with a knife and a cutting board, and it's like 6 slices, I'm in, I'm done.
Yeah, right.
So, frozen fruit is another way that can really help you guys make your smoothies really quickly. Or your acai bowls or things like that.
Yeah, and for frozen fruits, you can freeze your own fruits. If you see you have, for example, bananas start to get bad, or berries, strawberries, you can wash them off, peel them off, and put them in the freezer, so you have your own frozen fruits.
And depending on the season, the grocery stores start to have these specials, 3 packages of organic blueberries for $10 or whatever. Buy them up, clean them up, and freeze them.
I go to BJ's or Costco and I buy these huge bags of frozen cherries, organic, mixed berries, tropical blends with mangoes and berries. It's $10 a bag, and it's, I think, 2 pounds, I believe. And I always have frozen fruits on hand, so it's really amazing.
Tell us a little bit about your prep for the day. And tell us a little bit, if you're not juicing, what do you do?
When I'm not juicing, yes. So when I'm juicing, I prepare my juice on a daily basis, and it takes me about an hour to prepare 3 juices by the time I peel my fruits and I prepare everything and washing.
Yeah, clean everything up afterwards.
Yeah. But when I'm not juicing, I'm always on the go, and I always prepare food to nibble on between my massages, my sessions of detox, or whatever is going on during the day. When I leave home, I have grapes, I have banana, I have dates, I have any kind of fruits like I can eat. Like I prepare a bowl for my lunch of usually berries, bananas, and if I don't have, I know I'm not going to have time to sit down and eat with a fork or a spoon. I have my smoothie going, so I have one or two
Yes.
smoothies. So,
Yes,
and I learned that from Rosanne.
Yeah.
So the smoothies are amazing because this is liquid and semi-liquid, and you can have something more substantial than a juice, and it keeps you going. It's really amazing.
And, you know, depending on your type of work, if you're traveling in the car, it's easier to sip a smoothie.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with people as we do on a regular basis, we don't necessarily want to be chomping and chewing through our consultations. So we can sip a smoothie and, you know, get that fiber, get that fullness, get that satiated feeling. I want to talk a little bit about food other than fruit while you're detoxing and how to prep and be ready for that, because we had a conversation the other day with one of our patients coming home from work, being starving, and then what do? You're so hungry
Not
that
sticking to the diet
you don't.
always.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So my go-to foundation is get a bunch of sweet potatoes. There's tons of amazing organic sweet potatoes. Buy a bunch of sweet potatoes at the beginning of the week, bake them. 6, 8, 10, doesn't matter. Bake them in the oven, wrap them individually, and then buy 6, 8, or 10 avocados to go with them.
Right.
Buy the avocados not ready to eat, because by the middle of the week they're ready.
By the bag, buy them by the bag.
Yeah, Costco, BJ's,
BJ's.
Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And then when you get home from work, if you've had that hectic, busy day and you get home from work, go ahead and grab a sweet potato, grab an avocado, sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Eat that. It's filling, it's satiating, it's that heaviness you're used to having. Take a few minutes to just let the day go, deal with your boredom, deal with your distraction, deal with your emotions of the day, have something full and satiating, and then you can stop and say, now I can make my salad.
Right.
Right.
You know, you want to wait, you want to give yourself a good half hour, 45 minutes for that sweet potato to get digested and start moving through, but that'll give you time to make your salad, make your dressing, and then you can sit down to this living food, this living dinner, and you're not so stressed and hungry and moody that you grabbed, you know, a chocolate bar or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, again, going to the farmer's market at the beginning of the week, going to your grocery store, maybe having it written into your schedule. I'm going to the grocery store Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever. And then maybe putting things in plastic containers, maybe making, you know, individual salads for you, so that during the week it's just pop it open, throw it in the bowl.
And it's already clean.
And you're there.
That's great, yeah.
So, you know, those are, again, some really, really important things to do to make sure you don't go off the rails. I mean, this is your detox, guys. Don't mess yourself up. Don't throw a monkey wrench into your own process.
And I would add that it's going to take a while for you to get organized, to learn how to prep and to learn how to shop differently at different times. Like Cathy, I had to change my ways of shopping. I used to go to shop for my entire week. Now I'm shopping 3-4 times a week. I want fresh food. I want to, you know, so it's, and the way we eat with the detox is much more simple, because a lot of times we don't really need to cook. If you choose to cook in the evening, that's okay, but it's easier. You don't have to prepare cooked food for lunch, cooked food for breakfast, so you're on the go. You can always take fruits.
Another thing that we had talked about earlier is in terms of hunger, because some of you do come to us and say, I'm okay, breakfast, lunch, but by the end of the day I am so hungry. So one of the things that we discuss is, how about having that heavier meal at lunch? if you're not driving a truck or, you know, you can actually sit down to eat. How about having that sweet potato and avocado at lunch? How about having that salad or that soup that you prepared on the weekend that you portioned out, having that for lunch? Maybe making fresh guacamole and veggies to dip in it. Maybe one of my favorites is, not ceviche, the soup, the tomatoes raw.
Gazpacho.
Gazpacho.
Making
That's
fresh
good.
gazpacho,
Yes.
having that at lunch. Maybe blending an avocado with it,
Mm.
or you guys are awesome. Blending an avocado with it, or having an avocado on the side. Maybe a baked sweet potato with your gazpacho. Yeah, I know, we gotta think about food combining, we gotta think about bloating and gas and digestion, things like that, but you know what? Right now, we're just thinking about getting you through your hunger.
Right.
Right.
We'll worry
Right.
about the noises that come out of you in another video. How about, guys, when people ask that question, how much should I eat or how often should I eat? Because if you followed diets in the past, and
Right.
this isn't a diet,
Mm-mm.
right? If you follow diets in the past, they usually tell you how much to eat, calories, portion sizes, points, cups,
Right.
right?
Ounces.
And then how often, look at your watch, oh my gosh, you're gonna
Right.
eat. Do we believe in that?
No.
No way.
Do monkeys have a watch?
No.
Do they have a measuring cup or a scale?
No, they just judge by what their bodies are telling them.
Yeah, and also I like to explain the way if you observe a monkey in nature and they have their hands to pick fruits from the trees, they're going to pick one fruit and they're going to eat that fruit. And then maybe an hour later they're going to go back to the tree and pick another fruit and eat again. So consider yourselves like monkeys.
You're monkey.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna be, you know, picking on the sprouts of the grass and the
Right.
plants right near them
Yeah.
and munch on
And
that.
nibble, like, little.
Yeah,
Right.
and just don't pick like bugs out of each other's
Oh,
hair. We're not gonna go that monkey on us today.
I think it's important to eat when you're hungry.
Yeah, especially at the beginning, I
But-
would say.
Yeah, everyone has a different appetite, so if you're hungry, eat more.
What I would add also is that sometimes we feel like we are hungry, but we are not. We are
Mhm.
thirsty. So what are you going to do in that case? I get that question a lot. Well, can I drink water? Of course you can drink a little bit of water, but it's not the main source of hydration that you're going to have. You can always have a fresh fruit juice or a fresh green juice if you need
Watermelon.
something. Watermelon is amazing. The first time I ate a whole watermelon, I went to the bathroom like crazy afterwards. Like I was so surprised.
Yeah. So hydrating.
Yeah.
So hydrating.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a good point. A lot of times we think we're hungry and we're actually thirsty.
Yes.
The other thing is at the beginning of detox, when people say, how often do you eat? A lot of times I'll tell them, eat even before you're actually hungry, because sometimes it hits you hard, right? You're busy, you're not paying attention, and all of a sudden you're stressed, those adrenals drop, and all of a sudden you're starving. So at the beginning, the first week, 2 weeks, even 3 weeks, make sure there's always something with you.
Right.
Whether it's grapes, whether it's melon, whether it's a juice, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's, avocados.
Or at work, you can have dried fruits. When you drive in your car, you can have dates. You can have things like that too.
Yeah.
You could cut up carrots, cucumbers,
Right.
celery. If you want a little crunch, you want a little bit of different texture, just have it all ready to go.
Yeah. So, again, it's back to that prep.
Mhm.
Back to that prep. Go to
Right.
go to one of the, Costco or Sam's Club or something. Get yourself, a stack of plastic containers so that you can have them, fill everything up, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Your dry fruit, your fresh stuff.
Mhm.
And then the last thing we wanted to talk about was phases,
Mhm.
right? Phase 1, if you guys have your book in chapter 8, remember that book you got?
Yeah.
Phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of the diet.
Right.
When do we switch?
Right.
Oops.
Well, a lot is contingent on what your goals are. Everyone comes into detox with different goals. If you have a big label, you would want to work your way to phase 3 for sure.
Pretty rapidly. If you're dealing with a life-threatening situation or a
Absolutely.
serious health situation.
Yeah, you want to jump into phase 3, which is all fruit. I always tell people that you reversed your Graves' disease on phase 1. After 20 weeks, your blood work was perfect.
Yep. That's
Phase
true.
1, still with some cooked food.
Still
Yeah.
works.
So it still works.
yes.
And everyone has different genetics as well. So again, listen to your body. What are your goals? What are your genetics? Perhaps linger on phase 1 for a while, and if you're ready, move to phase 2. It might be a nice change to just do fruit, and then veggie.
Yeah.
Can we go back to phase 1 if we've done phase 2 for a few days? Or are we stuck in phase 2?
Absolutely. You can go from phase 2 to phase 1. I have a patient also that was on phase 3 for 45 days, and then after a while she felt like she couldn't keep up. So what do we do in that case? We go back to phase 2 or even phase 1 if that is necessary for a little while, and then you can navigate between all these 3 phases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Morse calls it pulsing.
Pulsing.
You know, we talked about in the herb video how we can go deeper in and then kind of back off a little bit.
Right.
We can do that with the
The
diet.
food.
And we're going to talk in another video about fasting and juicing, but
Yes.
we can do that. We can pulse in, go deeper, back out, go back to some, you know, more vegetables, more maybe some cooked foods, some steamed veggies, and then dig in again. You don't have, this is not a linear process, right?
Yes, and sometimes it may happen that when you are on phase 2 or 3 eating a lot of fruits, you get like a little forgetful, or you feel like you're more distracted, and it's quite normal. That happens.
Don't mind that.
And so in that case, that's when you can navigate to go back to phase 2, for example, or even phase 1 to ground yourself again.
Thank you, Kathy.
Sure.
That's what happens when you're doing these videos, right? Things fly across the room, off your lap. So again, you guys, this is an extraordinarily dynamic process. So that's why we're here. You know that you guys have us on the, thank you, my dear. You guys have us on the telephone, you have us on email, on the detox forum, to always ask those personal questions for sure. But please use this video, go back to it, rewind it, and really understand that, yes, there's work to this process, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Yes. Your health is really wealth. Your health is everything.
Yeah.
So try to tell people to enjoy the journey. It's not all about the destination.
Right.
Because you're learning and you're growing and you're healing. So it's really a wonderful journey.
It's a self-discovery journey.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So enjoy this process, you guys, and we're so happy that you spent some time with us
Yes.
chatting about cravings.
Thank you.
Many blessings to you, and we will see you in the next video.
Okay.
All right.